The Gauteng Legislature's Community Safety Committee is pushing for harsher measures to end the rising illicit mining in the province. This comes after 5 bodies believed to be of illegal miners were discovered shot near Rivoli at the weekend following claims of a gun battle between Zamazamas. To discuss this further, I am joined now by the chairperson of the Community Safety Committee here in Gauteng, Bandile Masuku. Thank you very much, Dr. Masuku, for your time here on eNCA. I wonder if you heard my colleague Buleli Jones speaking there to the Gauteng spokesperson for police, Brigadier Brenda Muridili. She says even after they sealed the mines not so long ago, that particular mine near Rivoli, there's holes showing that these miners have gone back there now. So clearly, they've actually gotten up so much courage that they go against police.
I think it's one of the bigger problems that we have, and good day to yourself and your viewers. It is a bigger problem because it means we need a more sustainable way of dealing with the matter. It is good and it's commendable that the police have done a swap in and raided the place, but we need a more of a sustainable way of how we can be able to deal with illegal mining. One of them is properly rehabilitating and actually making those mines, that are unowned or don't have owners, to be properly rehabilitated and also make them actually mineable. That's where our major problem is that these areas still remain mineable, and it means that we need to do a proper work in that regard.
And in terms of the meetings that you have as a portfolio committee with, the Community Safety MEC and her counterparts in the area, what exactly are the things that they're doing to try and tackle this problem? Because every year the topic flares up and government sort of looks reactionary.
I think that's where our problem was, that when we were calling off stricter measures. Our call for stricter measures means that we need an integrated way and be able to deal with all the levels that are actually involved in illegal mining. One of them is actually dealing with this market where these illegal minerals are actually being sold. The second one is to get the mining companies that are involved in this to also come on board, to be accountable, to be transparent, because we believe that they are also a party to this bigger problem of illegal mining. The third part is to get the Department of Mineral Resource and Energy to actually come into party to make sure that we rehabilitate these areas properly and they remain unmineable. And the third part is the law enforcement, which I think is where our problem is. So our engagement with all the stakeholders, even in the National Assembly, is to make sure that all these levels of interventions are actually dealt with and they are actually fully implemented.
Talk to me about, when you talk about law enforcement, obviously you also talk about the National Prosecuting Authority, for instance. Almost 80 people arrested in this particular incident alone in Rivoli. I don't know if you were able to see some of the equipment that police were able to confiscate at the different homes that these illegal miners were found in, or alleged illegal miners were found in. Sometimes the communities will say, next week they'll be out of jail anyway. What would be your message to the National Prosecuting Authority to help you in deterring this, especially because these people were found in possession of the equipment that is used for illegal mining?
I think there's a bigger problem. The work that was done by the Select Committee or Oversight Committee on Minerals and Resource Energy actually clearly indicates and identifies that corruption is one of the major issues that we face, and ineffectiveness of the use of the legislation that is available. So for your question is that it's an important thing that the NPA must come on board and they must be able to deal with it effectively and be able to prosecute. And more importantly, is that most of these individuals that are involved in illegal mining are foreign nationals, and it has been proven that most of them are actually within the country illegally. So we need to strengthen all these aspects of law enforcement, including prosecution, including deportation, including a stricter control of our borders and so on.
Dr. Masuku, are you happy with the overall safety of communities in Gauteng?
Oh no, actually not at all. I think there's a lot that needs to actually to be done, and in particular we need to deal with these areas that know that usually they give us actually problems and sleepless nights. The ones of Zamazamas and illegal mining is one of them, and the issues of gangsters are in other areas. So the safety needs, it's our primary focus, and we are in a situation where we need to make sure that our executive and our police, officials and law enforcement in general are actually on the ground and they are doing their work.
But do you also agree that it's only getting worse, the lack of community safety in Gauteng? With crime statistics, etc.
Wouldn't say getting worse. Yeah, but I just think that it's uncontrollable. But I think that we just also need to make sure that call upon the communities themselves, because the actual policing and the safety, yes, is constitutionally the government must be able to provide a safe environment for all the citizens. But second is that the communities are an important role player in this way, calling for them to form part of community police forums, make sure that they also be the eyes and ears of the police and law enforcement, and also making sure that they are able to apprehend, because our communities know who are the culprits, know who are the criminals, know who are the drug dealers. And I think with them getting involved in CPF and all the other neighborhood structures, it can also help, in making sure that we make our communities safe in Gauteng.
But do you think the current MEC is doing a good job?
I think at the level and the powers that she has, I think she does. And remember that she's also more involved in making sure that she mobilizes communities in the whole fighting of crime, and also priority crimes like your gender-based violence and femicide crime, which is one of them. And the second part is that also from our side as the community safety portfolio committee, we are able to make sure that we call upon to appear and make them accountable, which is our police force in the province.
Yeah, I hope you do follow your mandate also, Mr. Masuku, as oversight in the legislature with this particular portfolio. But let's leave it there for now. Dr. Bandile Masuku, he is the chairperson of the Gauteng Portfolio Committee on Community Safety. He says MEC Faith Mazibuko is doing the best she can at the level at which she can. But the question is there for you as well at home. Do you think she's doing a great job?